get started a little early here. Probably gonna use this view for now. And we're just gonna kind of jump right in. I mean, we definitely had some rough games yesterday that I don't think were the best. So we're gonna start with those. Like I have been recommending, I like Replay's UI. I also like the way that it, kind of like auto records the games for you, gives you a little score, it gives you an idea of how things went. We've very much been going like win loss win loss win loss lately. Not worried about looking at any Belveth games. I think that was just with friends. This Riven game was pretty clean. I was happy about that. This Aatrox game. What happened in this game? Oh, that was just a remake. Alright, so these are two games we want to look at. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's hard to look at this game in particular because, like, it, it really was just Rome, but, like, I can't do anything against Ram's Rome. I can shove and I can keep the wave in, like, a not so great spot for him, which is what I did, but, like, realistically, outside of that, there's not really much else that can be done. I mean, maybe my build could be a little bit different, but it's like built Black Cleaver, nobody else on my team built Armor Pen. He's kind of unkillable. Can't do anything about that. Is what it is, right? Um, I think we just got outdrafted here for sure. I think the Tryndamere mid into the Taliyah, and Tryndamere actually did quite well, but it's very difficult playing an almost all AD team into a Rammus. And like, yeah, there's the Evelynn and there's the Karma, but their damage is so conditional on that champion that yeah, it's not very great because it's not like Evelynn wants to go in on Rammus anyways in these team fights, so kind of just a rough game. This is the game we want to take a look at, and we will, and we shall. All right, so let's go up here. Let's kind of restart this a little bit because I really want to look at it like all the way from early game, and it's nice because it has my mouse movement on here and it has my camera movement on here, which I think helps you be a little bit more critical of like, oh, did I know, that this was happening, or was I paying attention that this was happening, etc. All right, I need to get my pen out here. For some reason, it's not opening, so I'm just gonna open Task Manager real quick and see if it's open but not like working. Yeah, sometimes that happens with the pen. It's not the end of the world. You just kind of restart it. Usually it pops up. Doesn't take too much. All right, there it is. Ignore that. Ignore that. Okay. So I think we made a good decision here by like waiting for this block to go down so that we could use our ability for double value, like get her and get the wave. I think that that's really good. She ends up getting so close that we actually miss like one of the minions, but because the aggro changes for both of us, we don't miss that minion. I think it's fine to continue poking here. She's really, really focused on getting these minions, because she wants the level 2, but I think so overall, like, we can talk about this a little bit. So, like, level 2 is great and super important, but, like, overall, when you're looking at a game, right, and you're gonna take half your health bar to get it, and then, like, it's conditional, right? Like, Irelia taking that is definitely the right thing for her to do, but, like, it is conditional. She has to land it, right? So like me dodging it, I think really messes up her plan there. And then she is very much fighting in my wave, right? So when this fight starts and everything's going on, she's taking all of this aggro. I think I'm only taking aggro from like these three, you know. So I would say that's overall pretty worth for me. Now, this is where the game gets kind of funky, because like I think I set up this lane really, really well. I pop my pot here just because I have the feeling that something's gonna happen. You know, I'm pretty sure I knew Kindred had started topside from this. Yeah, and then she shows, right? And the fact that she shows here, like I give a little missing ping, they break this freeze. I can't stop them from doing this, but we have to understand that like this is higher diamond. These people are probably on their way back to Masters right now since it's so early in the season. So like I need to be expecting people to come up and break freezes like this and be a nuisance. Now I think the problem is what happens after. Or I need to really judge if it's a problem or not, right? So like she misses all of her stuff again. Now she's she has no mana. Okay, so I think my problem here genuinely I think my problem here is she let's watch this. I don't think the EW's bad per se, and I do want to hold this wave. I think this is the problem. I think the problem is that I kite up and then into everything, and I am level 2. So I'm fighting a level under. I don't know. Maybe it's so close. It's really so close. But the thing is Kindred's still up here. Because when I go back a little bit, this is important to watch. Alright, so Kindred walks out. Let's count the seconds. Between the... Yeah, it's been 4 seconds. It's been 4 seconds. Kindred's probably here at best. Maybe here. So, like... Yeah, this is too aggressive. This is too aggressive. This is me wanting to like get back at them for breaking my freeze and breaking like the lane state that I had set up and try and like get something out of it, which is a mistake, right? Like the correct thing to do here is, excuse me, is to let Irelia get it in, and then I can just play out this bounce, get a level advantage. She's gonna come back with whatever she comes back with. He ends up getting the kill there, which is nice. And we end up getting... See, here's the problem, is we don't get anything here. I think this is another problem. I think I prioritized my call too much. Way, way, way too much. I think I should have gotten a cloth armor here. I really do. I mean, like, I don't need the extra AD to really fight her, because we're not gonna be doing, like, a lot of damage anyways, because she's probably gonna come back with a Vamp Scepter. And her, like, natural healing is just a lot, right? So, like, yeah, I think this is a problem. Now we get this under, we get 4. We should have started backing probably a lot sooner. Those 2-3 seconds make a difference. Now this Irelia was a very controlled player. Really paid attention to a lot of like their wave states and stuff. So when we're watching this now, like we can tell that they're slow pushing, right? They're not hard pushing, which is kind of a bummer for us, but now we use my E and my Q here for cannon. I think it's worth, but the problem is, as soon as I do that, this is completely fair game, right? Like I walked into this, and that's just like, well, actually, you know what? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. That is pretty greedy for me to be like, I'm gonna use both of my abilities here. Because she sees that my E is down and then immediately engage, which is perfectly justifiable. Like, maybe if I dodge the stun, it's not as bad, but, like, it's still bad. Yeah, it's still really bad. I can't use my abilities like that. That's just completely troll. Now I heal up here, and this is pretty much where the lane is, like, now over. Alright, I need to watch that again because I need to know if this champion goes behind when they... I'm gonna slow it like way down. Because I swear, I cannot tell if Irelia goes behind you when she Qs, or if she goes to you. Or if she has some sort of like broken, bugged ghost mechanic where she walks through you. I have no freaking clue when it comes to this champion. It 100% goes behind you. I'm gonna... Yep, she goes behind you. Okay, so like, part of my problem there is the fact that she ends up behind me. Maybe if I flip her in the right direction, it works out, but yeah, that's tragic. I mean, this is pretty much where the lane is over. Also playing up and that aggressive into Fog when I know that my jungler is bot side and Kindred is top side because of the way that their clears are reversed, also stupid. So like, it's a lack of jungle tracking, it's a lack of cooldown management, it's over aggression, right? Like, I lost this not because of like mechanical skill or whatever. I lost this by just poor decision making, really poor lazy decision making, which is gonna happen sometimes when you're playing at like 10 p.m. and you've worked all day and everything else. Like I'm definitely, these streams are late for me, um, but if it helps, people engage, then it's what I want to do. This is just like unfortunate. There's not really much of a way out at this point. Like this is an Irelia that knows what they're doing and knows how to play the champ, so now I'm just kind of like free food. I have to try and stay in XP range, which is like what I do, but that's really the rest of my lane is just staying in XP range. This is insane to me. Like when this happens and I throw her in here so that Briar gets the stun, it's the fact that I miss my ult. Like that's what it is. And I need to realize that she goes behind me. And maybe just knowing that she goes behind me now will help me with this matchup a lot. I don't know. But that would have been a really big turning point in this game. But oh well. Let's go look at the game like overall in the sidebar here. So it's pretty much solo death after solo death after solo death. Very far behind. Dying 1v1, right? Like, it's... I can't blame anybody else for this. Like, did the jungles make an impact? Yes. But like, Briar also ganked twice. It's just me. It's just me. I am the problem, right? Solo death, solo death, solo death, solo death, solo death, right? Now, I really am roaming here. Now, it's interesting that we won this game, honestly. And outside of the Xerath just playing like a mad lad and being very, very good at the game, like, what happened in this game that I think allowed me to come back is like, we gave her both top towers, right? Which I didn't love, but like, once that happened and she didn't know where to go and like what to do, she started grouping a lot, and my team was decently strong in the group, stronger than their team. Irelia was really like the only problem child. So then my strong teammates started dealing with Irelia, and I just started farming to catch back up into the game. Kept pushing lanes out, keeping track of where people were on the map, and just creating like pressure. That was it. Now I TP'd here because I was concerned, and honestly, I think this TP is worth it, just to be sure that like nobody gets away. This is just tragic. Like, I don't even know what that was. I think that was Leona's shield saved her life, which was wild to me. But Xerath still picks it up, and then Briar goes nuts. I really thought that we wanted that 4v3 though. Hmm. I don't think I'm gonna do a full game review of the Rammus game. I think it's enough just to take a look at like the early game, because the early game was the issue here, and kind of review it. I know that this isn't gonna be a very long stream, but if I'm being honest, nobody's here. So because nobody's here, I don't really want to sit on for like 2 hours and dig through games, just for sake of like making content when I can play some games and just record that. So I'll probably end the stream here and play some games. And I do a lot of editing on Saturday too. I don't have an editor, so if there's any editors out there interested, let me know. Um, but yeah, I have to do all my editing on Saturday for like a lot of my stuff throughout the week, even though my editing isn't great, but I got a lot to do. So I think we're gonna call it there. Let's kind of put this one in the memory banks. And I think we'll be good. I think the thing is I can buffer my E and catch Irelia in animation, but like the overall um if she connects, I have to go behind me, which probably means if she's closer, that's the right move. All right. Anyways, good talk. Good talk, guys. See you in the next one.